A righteous man regards the life of his animal, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel.
It is truly an honor and privilege to welcome this August gathering to the 10-year anniversary celebration of the Amur Falcon conservation story. On behalf of the Department of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Nagaland, I would like to extend a warm welcome to our guests from outside Nagaland, led by Dr. Suresh Kumar, who is now almost a native of this place, and also our friends from WWF and FES. Welcome to the Falcon capital of the world. Also, warmest of welcome to the most important stakeholders, the community that made this conservation success story possible. The Village Council Chairman from Wokha, Dimapur, Longleng, Perrin and Mohokchung, and their representatives, the Amur Falcon Roosting Area Union Pangti, the Young Fishermen Union, Limsachen Long Society, and others. For our other partners in this conservation journey, the various organizations present here, as well as a representative from the district administration and police and media, warm welcome to all of you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Supom. I'm the Chief Conservator of Forests here in our state, Nagaland, and welcome to Nagaland.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Zutumlo Patel, Conservator of Forest, Southern Territorial Circle.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Suman Sivanchar, DFO Wokha and Doyan Plantation Division.
That people have come from the far-flung area, and it is a matter of great happiness to see the involvement of the student community and the young people. We are quite sure that, even after us, the Nagaland will be in safe hands. This is the time to pay homage to their memory. One is Mr. Nick P. Williams, the former head of CMS Raptors MU Coordinating Unit. He passed away close to his native Devon, UK on Saturday, 17th April 2021. He was a key member of Amur Falcon satellite tagging program team in India. He is the one to first pronounce Nagaland as Falcon capital of the world. Passed away on December 17, 2022 after a prolonged battle with the cancer at a very early age of 49 years. Ramkrishnan, popularly known as Ramki, was a software engineer who decided to come out of his lucrative job to pledge himself for conservation, wildlife photography and bird watching. Conservation India with NWPCT brought the issue is Amur Falcon hunting to the significance in the year 2012, post which conservation programs were intensified.
There are margin of error, and there was a margin of error in my assessment also. I never knew that when I would come back to the department and join the things, I would come to learn that how a story, how it was turned around, and instead of bringing the bad name and the criticism that was so right at that moment, would be turned into praise and into a success story which everybody wants to be. So when I came to know about, when I came back, I'm a art lover myself, so kind of, I was always interested to know, bhai, kaise hua, kya hua, how this was achieved. And then I realized that it was a concerted effort. It was a concerted effort, everybody joined hands, everybody realized that, this massacre has to stop. And there was a point, when everybody rallied together and turned the story around. And, as you just heard that for the last 10 years, the bird has been having a safe passage. And except, this year I heard like one incident. Other than that, I'm so proud to say that, the couple led by his team, our divisions from the department, they've been doing wonderful work, and the birds have been kind of, now it's their safe passage is more or less ensured. But we are not commemorating only the 10th anniversary of this safe passage that was provided to the birds, to conservation birds. We are also also commemorating the innate goodness that is there in the human beings.
So before we start off the presentation, I think context setting is very important because Nagaland is very unique. Nagaland is different compared to the other states of India. Especially more so because even though Nagaland is a very small state, it has a very rural population with 1,100 plus villages. But if you notice, most of these villages, they are having a good forest cover. So 73% approximately is having a very good forest cover of in the state. And additionally, one more thing to note here is that this forest cover is almost all entirely is owned by the communities themselves. So in Nagaland, hunting has been a way of life, and it has been there historically and culturally. At the same time, it has also been used for survival because most of these villages have been at very remote locations, and also at the same time, the people have been doing this as a matter of pride because they are warriors. So the Special Law of Wildlife Protection Act has been accommodated, so that's a very positive thing. And needless to say, there is some amount of resource crunch at the state government level, which has been addressed by the Government of India and Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change as well. Coming to the bird itself. So here you can see the beautiful bird of Amur Falcon healthier. So actually that is a fact because the female of the Amur Falcon is slightly heavier than the adult male, you can say. And like already mentioned by my seniors, so this bird does one of the longest migration of 22,000 kilometers. And for a raptor, this is like very unique because this is the largest sort of migration done by any raptor. And they move from their breeding ground, which is marked in green there, and that is northern China and then Mongolia area, and then they go all the way to southern Africa and then return back. So the round trip is around 22,000 kilometers. Also, if you notice here, you can see that Amur River flows in northern China, Mongolia, that border area. No? So that is why the name Amur Falcon has come about. So these are some graphic images, which is from 2012. But you can see that on the right side, you can see that there is an Amur Falcon bird which has been trapped in the net, de-skinned. So I think I remember our seniors telling that it was being sold at rupees 25 per bird. So I think that is how it started. And initially, like I have mentioned here, Conservation India was the first organization which actually brought about this story and unraveled this story. So at this juncture, I think we should also remember that the NGOs of Ms. Bano Haralu, who's this NPWCT, the leader of NPWCT.
I think the Amur Falcons have given me the identity which is very important for many of us who work out there in the field and we collect data, collect information. But all of this has actually helped support the conservation effort. So this report that was released here is actually showcases the effort of the community. So we will be making a detailed presentation. My student, Ms. Amarjit Kaur, she will be making a presentation later post-lunch, telling you the details about each of this. So as you all would also get to have a copy or a look at the report, as you would see, the narration of the story in this is that it first talks about the conservation effort.
The State of India's bird report is a periodic assessment of the distribution range, trains in abundance.
White birds are all around us. But how are they faring? Are they doing well? Or are they all declined? In 2022, BirdLife International released its 5th edition of the State of the World's Birds Report. The results paint a very grim picture. Currently, 49% of the world's bird species are in decline. 1 in every 8 species is threatened with extinction. And only 6% of species show signs of increase. North America alone has lost 2.9 billion individual birds since 1970. Europe has lost 600 million. World over, the figures are alarming. If the birds of the world are doing so badly, what is their status in India? India has over 1/10 of the world's bird species. Evaluating hundreds of bird species across a land area of over 3 million square kilometers is a huge challenge. Luckily, bird watchers and enthusiasts in India have been contributing their observations to public database for several years. With access to over 30 million observations, a partnership of governmental and scientific institutions have created a status report on India's birds.
This report talks about the status of 942 Indian birds. All these observations were uploaded to eBird, which is an online platform.
During our childhood time also, we witnessed the falcons flying in the sky in search of flying termites in the evening, but were only recognized after taming the Toyang River by Toyang Hydro Power Station (THPs) under NIPCO notice. In 2000, the Amur falcons arrived during second week of October and stays till the end of November. The migratory bird, Amur falcons, were spotted crossing at Ripandi village under Wukha district in Nagaland in the year 2001. 2001 in flock of thousands, and subsequent years, the flock gradually increased to massive in numbers. But owing to the lack of awareness for conservation of wildlife, the villagers, hunters in traditions, started hunting the birds in commercial scales for sustenance from 2006 to 2012.
Leading NGOs in India for the first time support conservation works in Nagaland by assisting Nagaland Wildlife Biodiversity Conservation Trust, Friends of Amur Falcon, campaign from 2013, namely Wildlife Conservation Trust, Wildlife Conservation Society, Combined National History Society, Raptor Research Conservation Foundations, along with state government or forest department and district administration. The NGOs not only made a series of Amur Falcon conservation successful.
Back in the year 2000, thousands of common birds covered the sky of our village every evening, and it was a fascinating sight to see and behold. No one knew the bird's name or where it came from. There was no security, no conservative measures from both the government or from the village authority. Later in the year 2021, Sri Ukai H. Jimo member, Wildlife Division, Dimapur district, along with our GBs and village councils, visited the roosting place of the birds, which came to be known as Amur Falcon, also known as the state's special guest, and started taking initiative to conserve the guest bird since 2021 until then. With due initiative from the Forest Department Government of Nagaland, our village received some financial help and also some materialistic helps to conserve and protect the birds. And since 2021, the JBs and the village council has taken every possible steps to conserve and preserve the migratory birds, Amur Falcon, within the village jurisdictions as per the guidelines of the government of Nagaland and government of India. With council members as a team leader, along with some villagers, they are enlisted of their duties every day by Sri Hukishu Jumbo, council chairman, since 2021 until date. Now the village council is in full swing to construct the watchtower at the roasting site with allotted fund received from the Wildlife Division, Dimapur District Government of Nagaland. Since the conservation measures has been taken by the village council, strict actions have been served against the defaulters.
Their journey spanning from the breeding ground in Asia to the southeast reaches of Africa, including a marathon non-stop day and night flight of 40,000 kilometers across Arabian Sea, which is amazing, truly amazing. It's, let me share a little bit of my experience. It's about more than 10 years back. When we go to our native village, we always cross Waka. And every time we cross, somewhere around 2009, 10, 11, we used to find a lot of birds sailing on the roadside. Particularly, we used to stop at Waka, NST colony side, that on the right side, a lot of restaurants are there. So on the left side, we come across a lot of birds selling there, you know. And such as someone has stated, was so cheap with a bunch of 10, 12, you get at 300, 400, and 500, it's depend upon your bargaining power. And I used to be quite amazed. And I used to interact with the farming community. Why? What price share? You know, something like that. So they used to share with us and with me that it is like a blessing. It is like a manna for them. You know, Doyang Hydro is like a manna because they are in a position to, to sell it, and they are earning a lot of money. So one day I took a picture and I sent it to my brother, Thomas Rimma. That time he was then the additional director of tourism. And I remember because my Eastern cousin, K.K. Kihoshe, who was then posted at Waka as a soil and water conservation officer, he used to share, and a retired additional director of soil and water conservation, he used to share about this falcon to me actually. And time to time we had a discussion about it. So that day, one day it was, I believe, in the year 2000, maybe in the November 2011, I took a picture, sent it to Thomas' brother, and I even talked to the then PCCF Sri Rao, and by the time I was the finance secretary finance of the state government. On my return, we had a discussion, and we discussed that we should do something. And I remember my boss, that time additional chief secretary and FC was Sri Toshi Iyer. We had a discussion, and he was also the former commissioner secretary of RD. So we had a discussion that, we should impose some rules and regulation imposed upon the villagers. Until unless they stop it, the state government should not shy coming forward to stop all the assistance that is extended to the farming community or to the villagers. And as a Secretary of Finance, you can understand the powers and function of Secretary of Finance. And this discussion was taking place, and the time Reverend Anjo was then the General Secretary of MPCC. Nuk Lupong was a very young church worker at that time, and remember that we had discussion about its protection. So, and in the year 2012, there was a lot of headlines, and we would like to appreciate the media fraternity time, the report of large-scale hunting